Hey guys, so it is 11:50 in the morning on the 29th day of July CampNaNo prep. I have warmed myself up a late breakfast, so I'm going to eat while I'm doing some book skimming for information on Meki, and after I'm done eating I will then move on to writing a little bit in the books that I have been putting off while I was working on the Headless Horseman Killer. So I'll be starting with Pippin's Legend Goddess Gracious. The goal is to finish a chapter before I move on to anything else, but I'm going to take it relatively easy today. I'm going to take it incredibly easy tomorrow, give myself a break before I jump into CampNaNo, but the main goal today is just to take some notes for CampNaNo and to write a full chapter in Pippin's Legend Goddess Gracious. Those are really the only two goals I'm setting for myself today. But I'm going to eat and then I will keep you guys updated throughout the day. Alrighty, so it is 2:06 in the afternoon, and I just finished skimming through the werewolf, the blackout killer, the hacker, and the happy face killer. The happy face killer was where one of the facts that I definitely needed from Meki was, and I do think that I have everything that we know about his past now, so I don't think I need to look through the cook, and I know I don't need to look through the Headless Horseman Killer. But this is what I ended up with so far for the general notes. Hold on. We've got this. Everything in blue is just about Meki himself, and the yellow text is his speech habits. So, like, typically when he hangs up the phone, he says "ta" for now. But if I don't make note of that, I will forget it, because he only does it sometimes, because I forget, you know? There have been a couple times that he's left the G off of the end of words that end in ing, like running, so he'll say running, but that doesn't happen super often. He tries not to let it slip when he's around Jamal or Bo, because they're both more professional, I suppose, and he tends to have a more playful tone when speaking. And on this side I have the facts that I definitely needed about his past as to how he gets employed by Jamal. And then the speech one that I have there is he likes to use cuz, like because, but leaving out the B-E, but also tries not to drop that around Jamal or Bo, just because they're more professional than that. But I think that is all of the like general info notes that I need on Meki, which that's what this is. Hold on. There we go. This. It has a little GN on it, general notes. And I did that for Hearts and Roses too. The one up here says GN, and then this one is timeline notes, I think. But, you know. So I think I'm going to run through those notes and find the ones that would be on a timeline. He's been with Jamal for 7 years, since May 16th, 2028 or something like that, and he has a daughter that's 3 years old, also in 2028, so I do need to do the math, figure out when Jamal found him, when he had the kid, when he was with that ex-girlfriend, a few other things, and then I think I can move on to Hearts and Roses timeline notes, or get some notes for Fetkenhauer. But either way, I will do my best to keep you guys updated. As a quick fill-in thing, this is what I'm doing right now. I'm taking some notes here to work out some timelines, so that way I'm not writing stuff down in my notebook before I have anything set. So I've worked out roughly when Jamal first finds him, which would be here, and I've worked out roughly when they head back to California for training. Meki's training anyway, but that's about all I have at the moment. So I'm going to keep taking some notes, jotting down a rough draft timeline, and then I will write it down on my notebook here. Alright, so I have the majority of a timeline laid out for Rasmussen. And this doesn't cover Meki's promotion to eventually being Jamal's top dog, more or less. But
It does cover a lot of things, and it gives me a very good baseline of what may or may not happen. It's obviously a rough draft, just like it is when I write timelines for any of my books, and it's totally able to change at any point, but these are the major timelines, the major date points in the timeline. There you go. I didn't do one for when he has his daughter or anything like that, but I'll probably do that as the book goes along. I'm just running very low on my blue ink. It's right here. so I don't want to waste all of it at the moment. But I'm going to move on to probably Hearts and Roses and get the rest of the timeline that I have on Google Docs onto there. And then I will see if I can do anything for Fetkenhauer. Okay, so there are more things that I could write than this for Dom and Ashes. I even have a few more notes written down on the Google Doc, but honestly, my wrist is killing me and I just don't want to right now. But this is all stuff that'll happen later on in the story. It's stuff that just now happened in the Headless Horseman Killer. So it's not something I have to have written down right now at this very moment. So I'm either going to look into character descriptions for any of the 3 books, or I'm going to go into information for Fetkenhauer, and then I'll get back to you guys. So this is where we are at on Pittman's Legend Goddess Gracious at the moment. This chapter is still not complete, but I do need a little break for my wrist for a little bit. So I will probably still get back into this chapter before midnight. I just don't expect to actually successfully finish it before midnight. Either way, I will update you guys one last time before the end of the video. Hey guys, it is currently 12:49 in the morning on the 30th day of July CampNaNo Prep. Before midnight, I did not do any more writing on Pittman's Legend Goddess Gracious. I had planned on it when I first came into the living room, but Mom had Cooking with Ming on, and I decided to watch the rest of that instead. It was a nice, like, 20-minute break for my wrist, though, so there's that. But I have since started working on the chapter, but that will be in day 30's video. It is insane to think that it's already day 30 of this month, but here we are. The goal for day 30 is to finish this chapter of Pittman's Legend Goddess Gracious, and then I'm going to take a break, and then I'm going to run through all of my other books. I will not write a lot in them. It will probably be closer to like 100 words each, if even. The goal is not to overexert myself. I don't want to burn myself out right before CampNaNo, and I don't want to tire out my wrist and cause it even more pain than it's already in. I mean, even at the moment, I'm just waiting for this icy hot to dry so I can put my brace back on. Sorry, I'm sitting on the floor. But the goal will then be to run through all of the books and then take another break, and then I will probably either take some very minor notes, most likely typing, but I'm not sure. It kind of depends on which one hurts my wrist less. It kind of depends on what time of day I'm working. But I still have several synopses to write. It doesn't really matter if I have them beforehand, but it's nice to have them beforehand. I actually think I still have to write one for the Headless Horseman Killer. If we're being honest. But I will probably try to focus more on figuring out what the first chapter of each book will be, rather than any notes or synopses or worrying about any of those. I would prefer that I have a very baseline idea of what the first chapter might be, so that way I don't have to spend like 20 minutes at the beginning of each hour figuring out what the first chapter will be. Tomorrow morning. So I am going to get back to writing on Pittman's Legend, and go from there. And then I will keep you guys updated in day 30's video. I cannot believe how quickly this month has gone by. It's crazy. It always is crazy, but that's not the point. So, that being said, that is all I have for day 29's video. If you enjoyed this video, a like is always appreciated, and if you would like to stay updated on my writing, CampNaNo, or anything in between, feel free to subscribe. All of the links to my authors pages, as well as the links to my social media sites, are in the description down below. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye for now.